Oh, I love it. I love that. And that, what a great story. And thank you for sharing that, because that's just, I love sharing stories like that on my podcast, because that's what it's about.
Yes.
We
And
learn from
I
other
met him.
people.
We were filming Homeless. We met. We became friends. We filmed Homeless in America. This was after he had done The Room, and he's just an eccentric chap, as they say. And I wish him the best. And I'm sure maybe, who knows, we'll do something. Maybe Homeless in America #2. I've
Yeah.
always been an advocate for people that are suffering. And I think
Yes.
that's what really drew me to that project. And the learnings that I got from that is that what we think of as a homeless person is we really don't have a clue. We think that there are people that, I'm not saying everybody, but some people are super connected and want to make a difference and reach out. And so thank you so much to the people that are donating and giving and come across a homeless person on the street and give them some food or help them out. That's what this is about. But in general, there is a stigma about the homeless. And what people don't realize, and what came out in the documentary, is there's many reasons why a person sometimes finds themselves homeless. And uh, the idea behind that is that, and it's even said in a documentary by a homeless person, and it was actually true, that the average American, I heard somewhere that the average American doesn't even have $10,000 in savings. Like if they
No.
had a emergency surgery or emergency situation, they had to come up with 10 grand, it would be a massive challenge. So the idea that the average American, if that person lost their job or lost their opportunity, the average person is 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless themselves.
That
Now,
is correct.
do they recognize that? Does a person know that? Does a person even think that way? The average person think that I'm 1 or 2 paychecks away from being homeless. That's not a normal way of thinking.
No.
Uh, and it certainly doesn't happen to the majority of people. They find a way to pull through and make the money and land the job or get a new job. Or I know with, COVID and certain things happen, the government support. But in reality, we get to have a lot more compassion because we're all one, we're all the same. And a lot of people that are homeless are there because of mental
Mhm.
disorders or diseases or something like to that effect. And unfortunately, we've discovered that a lot of the homeless are veterans. The
Yes.
veteran population that is homeless is huge. And so they come back from the war having given their everything, right?
Everything. Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to get into my philosophy because I'm very anti-war, me personally. I think there's a lot of healing that gets to happen in this world. So I'm not a proponent on war. So I'm not exactly excited about the sacrifice, so called. I'm just being transparent, speaking my own truth, my own honesty. I'm not that excited about fighting for our freedom, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy into that completely. I'm certainly in belief that in certain situations, you have no choice but to protect your country. But I think there is definitely an agenda of greed, power, money, and control
Mm.
that is really the secondary agenda by most wars.
Yeah.
It's less to do with freedom. It's more about
Yeah.
resources, money, and power and control, and it sickens me. And but let's just say these men and these women go and put their lives on the line for whatever they believe is the call
Right.
um, of nobility and of service, and they come back with PTSD, and they come back so screwed up. They come back addicted to all these medications, which, by the way, have all these side effects. I had one of my, I won't mention his name, but we'll call him John. He came back. He went to 2 wars. He came back severe PTSD on 14 pills a day. He lost basically his wife started cheating on him because he was living in bed every single day and not able to function. He had 3 kids. He couldn't even give himself the medication. And sometimes his kids had to give the medication. His wife just can't deal with it. She ends up cheating, having an affair. Next thing you know, she leaves. And and then she takes the kids. So now he's lost his wife and his 3 kids. He then proceeds to then lose the house because he can't manage.
Yeah.
Too many issues. Then he's living in his car. Then from his car, he loses his car, gets repossessed. Then he loses the car and he's homeless. I only ever found out about him because I was doing a seminar, a coaching program for Malaluka, which is
Yeah, I know Melaleuca.
it's like
No,
Herbalife.
I use a lot of their products, as a matter
Oh,
of
well, there
fact.
you go. Shout out to Malaluka.
Yes,
They hired me to
yes.
do a keynote speech
Okay.
to their entrepreneurs, their salespeople, and how to build their business, and he was in the room. What happened is a woman had met or someone had met him and found him. I guess he was functionally at least speaking, and they wanted to help him, and they thought, okay, he's really struggling. Maybe I can bring him into this business opportunity and I can help him make money. Well, he told me later the only reason he could care less about the only reason he came was he had a crush on a girl that he met at one of the meetings and he wanted to come and see that girl.
Oh my
Well, I did
goodness.
my presentation at the very last 5 minutes of the presentation. After I share with them about our success coaching program and all that, I said, we also give back. I directed Produce Homeless in America. We rehabilitate veterans that have PTSD. And that was then that he said he had not paid attention to a single thing I said for an hour and a half.